Hi, you're here with George Rivulo from Pacifica Achievement to Higher Education. Today I am with Frank Politua, and we're going to ask him a couple of questions around Pacific people involved in further education and training, and get his feedback on what it's like to be involved in such things like that.
I think it's very important, really because of setting higher standards for our people. I think it's important to start upskill our communities to provide those different opportunities to other Pacific Islanders that are aspiring to learn about a little bit more about different industries. I think one of the most important things is the breaking down of old barriers and old stereotypes that come along with people generalising Pacific Islanders. Most definitely. I think the more we also have people, like yourself and a lot of other people in I guess highly recognised positions in different industries, it'll allow for a lot of our younger Pacific Islander youth to see that that it's possible to achieve those sort of goals, and also for them to aspire to those sort of goals. So it's very important. Without a lot of people recognising it, there is a responsibility with taking on those positions. So.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of different factors, but possibly the main factor for me would I believe would probably be the environmental factor that you have. What sort of environment is created for you at home, what you see in terms of your family members, and also family and friends and different support people. If going to university or even working in different industries is something that's not commonly practiced, then it won't become something that you feel like you can easily move into. So this is something that I think develops that mentality of just restricting what you want to achieve and what you want to do. But this is something that awareness with programs such as PATH can start to develop. So, yeah. Well, I found just from going into higher education and being in a different environment where there were a lot of people that weren't familiar with the football, with my football career, and weren't familiar with that sort of sector, the sports sector. It was interesting to get a lot of different insights and perspectives on what those sort of people were aspiring to do. I found that it was very empowering and very encouraging to have people come up to me and say to you, can't believe you're doing a fine arts degree or a graphic design degree. But as I found, the more that I acquired, a lot more skills and a lot more knowledge, it developed a real thirst to learn more, And even now, I still look to learn a little bit more about different areas, in the arts and different areas in design. So, that's one of the biggest things.
How long were you playing NRL for?
13 years.
13 years, and during the 13 years, education was still a very important part of what you were doing, as well as playing NRL.
Yes, definitely. I was well aware early in my career that the education was going to be a big benefit for me. There's no real guarantee in how long you'll play. I was just very lucky that or very fortunate, that I was able to play for a long period of time, and also had a strong support network throughout that time. Had a very supportive family, and my wife was very supportive, and also the club itself and the coaches, the coaching staff that was very supportive of me going in to study. So I found that moving into the later part of my career, there wasn't really any sort of nervousness in the transition. I felt very comfortable in knowing that I was already skilled up and that I could offer organisations or any sort of business moving out of the game I could offer them a lot because of what I'd learned. So it was really important for me, and it's even more important for me than knowing the responsibility that I have in telling the players now that are coming through the system that they do have great opportunity to to develop themselves off the field.
That's it. So it is possible to be able to move from something like the NRL, from sporting commitments, into mainstream work.
So I work at the Casula Powerhouse Arts Centre, and I produce programs and projects, different exhibitions. So I sort of work right across a different range of areas, but the main area is coordinating projects, and they're very large scale projects with fairly healthy budgets. So there's a lot of responsibility that comes with managing those sort of projects. But I absolutely love every part of it, and I'm hoping that through the role that I have here, that create some pathways for a lot of our people to come through and start to showcase their works.
Nice. So again, it's using your passion for things like art and even in your sporting career that has enabled you to be where you are today.
I do have a passion to sort of get back into basketball.
Ah, you're a bit of a basketball player.
Yeah, I was a bit of a b-ball fan, big fan when I was a lot younger. So I'm sort of keen to go back and put on some sneakers and have a bit of a go at the courts again. You don't get knocked around, and your eyeballs stay in the socket when you play that game. So I'm really keen to sort of like put a team together and go have a bit of a shoot around. Favourite food? Oh, my wife will tell you it's chicken and rice. Yeah, so I say chicken and rice. I can eat anything with chicken, anything with rice.
Nice. So chicken and rice. So if you ever have Frank over for dinner or have lunch, make sure you got some chicken and rice ready.
Yeah, please have some chicken and rice ready.
Nice. Frank, thank you so much again for spending time with us today, talking about the importance of education and further training in our communities. And I appreciate, again, all the work that you do in assisting our communities to see that, yeah, we can achieve more than just what people perceive us to be able to achieve.
It was a pleasure, absolute pleasure.
Thanks. See ya.